Hi everyone, welcome to another Discovering Co-op Careers session. Today we have Katie, who is going to be talking about her role in insurance. I believe she's just setting up the the equipment in the room right now. And if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat and we will try and answer them at the end.
Hi everyone. In true Angel Square fashion, we are having some difficulties connecting this fancy meeting room to the TV. But bear with us, we'll just be snuggled together quite closely. But let me share our slides and we can kick this off. Hopefully you can all see that. Perfect. Cool. So today's session is going to be with myself. I'm Katie and this is the wonderful Azra. We're going to talk to you about ourselves for a little bit, give the insights into two people who never envisioned themselves working and thriving in the world of insurance. We're also going to give you some insights into Co-op Insurance, specifically our team, which is the customer design team, and also deeper dives into some of the roles in that team and some of the skills that people need. And then also we do have some resources that we're going to share with you as well.
So yeah, this is myself and Katie on various nights out over the years and team building days. I've actually worked with Katie throughout my time at Co-op Insurance, very fortunate. Yeah, what makes me laugh is this middle picture. It looks like Katie's holding me, but that is actually my hand. But yeah, it always makes me laugh because it looks like she's like being really protective. But yeah, this is, I guess, just to show that we're in a close-knit team where we tend to do a lot of team building, and that working in something where you're multidisciplinary and collaboration is really important. So hello, I'm Azra. I'm 34 years old. I've worked for the Co-op 8 years in September. I first started working in, I guess, what is Co-op Group Digital. I worked on eStore. I don't know if anyone knows of eStore. We sell Hoovers and TVs, and then I did a couple of stuff within new ventures within Co-op Marketplace, and then also did a bit of stuff on sort of funeral care and more of the e-com side. But then I moved over to insurance, which is where I've been for the past 6 years. I have a degree in English language, which I got from Lancaster University. I loved university. I didn't know what I wanted to be, like most people, or what career to do. So I chose a subject that I was good at, but not one I necessarily enjoyed or that had much sort of career, I guess, yeah, prospects, unless you wanted to be like a teacher. So yeah, once I left university after having 3 amazing years, I really struggled to get a job of something that I wanted to do. So I spent a bit of time working out which direction I wanted my career to go in. And I decided to do a master's in marketing to sort of hone in on some skills and be a bit more niche rather than a broad subject like English language. I'm really glad I did that because I actually got some internships on the back of that and some work experience. So this started off with working through local companies, doing their social media strategy, writing blog content and articles. So my English language degree and my marketing masters actually complemented each other in that. And then one day I saw a competition on Twitter. So Twitter was this new thing, and it was to win a day in New Look's headquarters, go to their flagship store and get a load of free clothes. So yeah, I entered that competition. There wasn't many entries because Twitter was this new thing. And I ended up winning that. And whilst I was there, I just remember speaking to the lady being like, oh, you know, I'm just graduating with my master's, here's my CV. And she was like, yeah, sure, come and do an internship, come work with us. So I did 2 months there working in their digital team. And that was like my first taste of that corporate life and being in that sort of environment. And I really enjoyed it. So then I came back. I had I had my degree and I had all this experience, and then I got my first job, which was at JD Sports, so up in Bury, as I think it was like marketing assistant, content assistant. My job there was looking after, I guess, the website and what content we put on the website, and writing the blog posts and doing things like, oh, as seen on this celebrity, get the look. So I really enjoyed it because it was like fashion based. I worked on a brand called Bank Fashion, who aren't around anymore, but they sold things like Paul's Boutique, Miss 60, all things that are kind of coming back in fashion, which I feel like shows my age now. So I think what was really important when you start a role in a sort of corporate environment and you're in that space is you feel like you have no experience, and it is a bit imposter syndrome. You're working with people who've got 10, 20, 30 years experience, and you're just the grad who's just sort of come in. So for a while I was a bit muted and I didn't really like speak up because I sort of felt like, well, what do I know? But actually, once I sort of shifted that mentality, I actually realized the value that I could bring by being myself to the business. So I was the core demographic, I was the user, which was really powerful. And I guess one moment that sort of sticks in my mind was Christmas. Typically, you will always have your coats and your jackets as your sort of your main homepage takeover. Coat and jacket, £70. You sell a load of them. Business is great. It was a really mild winter. We weren't really selling any of the coats. I'd obviously been on this new app called Instagram, and everyone was talking about onesies. We were selling onesies, but they were just hidden in the pajama category. So I was just like, look, I think there's something in this. Let's just do a big hero banner on the main homepage about onesies. People are a bit nervous because it's like, well, they're only 30 quid. But it worked. We sold for 30,000 onesies in a week. We ordered more in, and it was the onesie that saved Christmas. So that was something that I didn't have 20 plus years of experience, but I obviously I was the end consumer. So that's just a bit of nugget of advice there in terms of, don't be scared to challenge the norms. And, we always have coats at Christmas because there are different ways of doing things. From that, I started to get a bit more confidence within my role, which is really important. And then we had this new software come into the business called Monetate. It was an A/B testing tool, which meant you could test different things on the website. So you could go on and test a green button versus an orange button, 50-50 traffic, whatever one, that becomes on the website. So Google, Amazon, Apple, all these big companies are running thousands of tests a day, optimizing their websites to just try and make the best journey and ultimately more money. They came and did the demo, and after 6 months, no one was really using it. No one had been trained in it. So I just sort of said, can I have a login? Can I just have a login for this tool? I'd quite like to see what it's all about. Everyone said, yeah, sure, yeah, go for it. So yeah, I just logged in and I just went a bit crazy on the website, started changing colours, which is mad to think of now because I know that JD Sports now has a team of 9 people. They have like a 10-step approval process just to change one thing. And I'm there on the website, oh, let's make the logo pink, all this crazy stuff. But actually, what that showed to the business was you can make such small changes. And when you're getting, 50,000 hits a day on your website, these small changes can have big incremental value. They can make a difference. And I actually then ended up paving a role for myself. So I was like JD's first optimization person. I went on the courses, so I started to learn about optimization, A/B testing, and that was then what I had a career in for the next 10 years. So that was just something that was a new technology. No one else was picking it up. So I guess, again, yeah, the advice there or the nugget there is if there's something new coming in, how can you learn faster than someone else, or how can you get involved in that? Because like I said, I didn't even know that role existed, and that's where my career went. So that was really exciting, really enjoyed working at JD. And then I saw a job come up at Co-op Bank. So I went and did the optimization there. I was working on credit cards and loans, which sounds boring, but I actually preferred it to the onesies. So I really, really enjoyed that time. And then I was hearing that Co-op were going through a bit of a digital transformation. There was all these cool, inspirational people working there. And I thought, yeah, I want to go work for Group. So yeah, in 2016, I moved to the Co-op. And yeah, again, doing the A/B testing, making small changes to try and add value to the business and to users. And then when I joined Coop Insurance, again, I was doing the optimization there. That picture is from last year's insurance awards, where we won personal lines broker of the year, which was very exciting. It wasn't just me that went, by the way. I wasn't like there's a group of us, but I managed to get the picture for the gram. So yeah, really love working with insurance. We're a great bunch. So very happy there. And then last year my role changed, so I'm no longer changing colours on websites. I'm now a product owner, and my responsibilities look at how we can connect the journeys better. So our different businesses, so whether that's insurance, funeral care, legal, membership, how can we make it more cohesive for the business benefit and also user benefit? So yeah, that's a snapshot to me and how I got to where I am. I'll now hand over to Katie.
Thanks, Azra. Slightly less glamorous photo. This is me as a Coop sandwich board. No one forced me to do this. I think I actually asked for it. We were celebrating Coop Insurance 150 years birthday, if you can call it that. So yeah, I asked for a sandwich board. So yeah, I'm Katie. I'm 34 years old. I'm actually going to be 35 on Monday. So shout out to all my fellow Pisces. I've worked for Coop Insurance for 9 years in August. I've had 3 different roles in the insurance business. My current role, which is customer innovation partner, but I'll talk through that in a little bit more detail. I do have a degree in information communication technology, or ICT, which honestly for me was a massive expensive mistake. I only did it because I thought I wanted to be an IT teacher. I did a little bit of work experience and then quickly realised that was not the life for me. So although I really enjoyed the social elements of uni, I don't think it actually gave me any skills that I couldn't have got from work experience. And I really don't think it's had any impact on any of the careers that I've had since. So after failing my dissertation with no idea what I wanted to do with my life, I actually joined Tesco Mobile as a customer service advisor on the phones while I redid my dissertation. So I'd had some roles in customer facing positions before, including being a waitress. I was a bartender, and I was actually a cashier in a bank for a little bit as well, but I was notoriously bad at that. But the role at Tesco Mobile was my first full-time position. These customer-facing roles, I think, gave me some really solid key skills that I use every day, still in my current role. So including listening, communication skills, problem solving is a big one, but also patience. So yeah, after I'd been on the phones for about a year, a position became available in the social media team as a customer service advisor, but using social media. I thought this was the best job in the world. I was so excited to start it. I was using skills from kind of what I'd done previously in my customer service jobs. I was just typing instead of being on the phone to people. So yeah, I thought it was amazing. The opportunity to start doing like brand, which is like more engagement and fun posts, became available. So I was like, yes, this sounds like something that I could do. We did take a lot of risks in this. We did get in trouble from time to time. Not everything works out perfectly. But I now know that businesses shouldn't talk about football. Otherwise, you could end up on the Sun newspaper as part of a PR nightmare for Tesco Mobile. So apologies to the PR team for that. In 2015, I made the big move over to Coop Insurance and became a social media and SEO consultant. Obviously, I'd had the knowledge of social media, but search engine optimization was completely new for me, and as was working in the financial sector. So I did spend a lot of time on Google before and after my interview, trying to hone those skills and find out a little bit more about what I should be doing. I found my skills writing word limited social media posts actually also could work for things in marketing, such as like PPC. So I started doing a little bit more in that space, start gaining some more skills, and the job that had actually changed into a digital content strategist in 2018. 2019 rolled around and the insurance business went through a big transition. I took a shot at becoming a customer innovation partner and was successful, but I was using skills that I'd learned in previous roles. And then, yeah, again, if I'm being completely honest, a lot of time on Google beforehand prepping for my interview. So now I look after innovation. I run workshops and sessions to encourage people to share their ideas, skills I've learned from watching colleagues on similar sessions and stealing the bits that work best for me. I don't think you always have to go away and find a new bright, shiny thing. I think sometimes you can just steal things from colleagues and make them work for yourself. I also manage the operational activity we do with CBS and other third parties. This actually started with complaints. Someone had left the team and there was a gap in the team until we could fill it. So I picked that up. And actually, I never envisioned myself being someone who enjoyed looking after complaints, but similar to insurance, I actually really enjoyed it. So I still have that. We've now added social media customer service to that. So I get to lean on those skills that I've learned previously. And also we look after Trustpilot as well. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I do and where I've been. But now we'll talk through Co-op insurance in a little bit more detail. So I'll give you the goss on us. This is us from last year. We've had some movers and some new joiners, so it's not the current team, but we are, as you can see, a super small business. I think there's only around 44 of us, meaning that we do actually all work really super closely, and we have exposure to things that I don't think you'd normally get exposure to. You get to try new things, and I think we've both gained quite a few skills from this as well, which is great. Charles Offord is our MD, and we're made up of 4 core teams. So I'm going to try and summarise what they do. If anyone is watching this from any of the other teams, I apologise in advance if I've not done a very good job of selling it. But we have the products and partnerships team. They work with our partners to develop our insurance products, and they manage the relationships with our partners as well. And we have the sales and marketing team who work hard to try and make these fun and exciting products and get people to buy them. And then we have the finance, risk and compliance team who keep us all in line, making sure we're not doing anything we shouldn't be doing, that we're not spending too much money, and that we're not breaking any FCA regulations. And then finally, we have the best team, the customer design team, which we'll talk you through in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so this is our, I guess, our little org chart of our team. What's really interesting with this is I think probably 80% of the roles on here probably didn't exist in the business maybe 5 years ago, definitely not 10 years ago, which just goes to show that even in a long-standing company like the Co-op, there are always new roles emerging. There's always new exciting things, and I think there's a lot of pressure as well to think, oh, what do I want to be? I want to be this role. But I think what's important is if you work out what skills you're good at, there will be jobs that can be shaped around that. So yeah, at the top we've got Chris Twigg. He's our boss, head of innovation and new channels for live services, and then this is the different sort of roles we've got. This is just to give a flavour of, like I said, completely different skill sets, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail on the next slides. What we've done here, we've kind of just done a snippet of what each role is and the key skills. Katie's kind of thrown us under the bus here because she's green and available, but as you see, everyone else is either away or offline, so I think there's a hidden agenda here.
I did it while everyone was on lunch. I apologise.
So yeah, do you want to do?
Yeah, well, we've run through these bits. We'll share the deck so you can all see it. But yeah,
you don't need to hear more about us.
No one does.
So yeah, we've got Chris Twigg. So he's our boss, head of innovation and new channels, as I said. So his role really is working with the team and focusing on delivering more value for our member owners, customers, and the Co-op. So he provides strategic direction, support, and removes blockers to allow the teams to get stuff done. His key skills: vision, leadership, communication, and problem solving.
Then we have Alison and Peter. They also report into Chris with me and Azra. Alison is our lead delivery manager. Essentially, she helps deliver really big projects. She keeps everyone in line. She's really good at running problem-solving sessions and workshops. And yeah, she looks at highlighting blockers and then gets Chris to take away for her as well. The skills that she's pulled out are planning and organisation, relationship management, communication, and problem solving. And then we have Peter. Peter is our experienced design lead. His job is making sure that the Coop Insurance website, emails and call centres are easy for everyone to use. He has quite a big team that help design the website and make sure that people, we get a good user experience for people as well. The main skills that he's got are planning and organisation, leadership and guidance, problem solving, understanding technology and user empathy.
Then we've got James Martin, not the chef, disclaimer. He's our lead designer and engineer. So he leads the team that designs how the digital products look and work, making sure everything from the layout to the way the user interacts and feels is smooth and easy to use. So the actual website, the journey, and yeah, making sure that that is functional. His skills, creativity, user empathy, understanding the technology and collaboration. We've then got Liza, who's our new starter. She joined the team a couple of months ago. She's digital analytics and optimization manager. So she uses data and finds ways to make the website better. So as I mentioned before, that A/B testing, there's definitely processes in place. Liza's not crazy like me and just back in my JD days and changing colours to things. It's very much what is the data telling us and how can we make those improvements. Her key skills are supporting opportunities, conducting experiments and numbers. So she's got all our key numbers and probably everyone's best friend when they need to either do a slide deck or report on something.
Then we have Michael. Michael is on a secondment in my team, working with me on the operational stuff. He keeps me very organised. He's been a great addition to the team. He's actually had a really interesting career as well. It's been a very Coop heavy career. And we were saying as we were talking through this, actually, we probably should have got Michael on here as his story is much more interesting than mine. But the key skills he's pulled out for his role are relationship management, project management, data and root cause analysis and process improvement. And then we have the lovely Camille. She is our digital UX designer and she's responsible for the look and feel of the website, service emails and offline documents. She conducts user research to ensure what we create is understood fully by the user and they can implement any improvements. The skills that she's called out is creativity, problem solving, empathy and calibration.
And then we have our content designers. So we have Vicky and Alex. So Vicky's actually joined us from the marketing team, which shows that, you know, there is opportunity for movement within Coop Insurance. And Alex is again a new starter. She joined the team also a few months back. And a content designer's role essentially is helping users have a positive experience and using our digital services through clear and accessible language. So this is the words on the website, making sure that we're FCA compliant, but also easy to understand, transparent, and that a user is well informed before they make a purchase. So key skills for Vicky and Alex are user empathy, collaboration, writing, and an iterative mindset. And then we've got David. So David's our engineer. He transforms the designs and the words into code that makes that website. So he's the functionality behind it. So making sure that the website's working as it should and that, you know, nothing breaks. So his key skills are translating that design into the code, ensuring the website works across different devices, and making it accessible for all, and also collaboration. I think it's important to note that we all have collaboration as our key skills because it is very, very important. We work together, as we said at the start, close-knit team. So yeah, I guess that is a part of being the co-op, is that collaboration. Very, very important. Oh. And then we've got just some golden nuggets of advice. We've sort of dropped a few in as the presentation's gone on. We won't read through all these, we will share the deck, but I'll just call out a few. So one of mine being ask questions and jump on new technologies, products, ideas. I wouldn't have got that internship had I not gone on Twitter first and entered that competition, I wouldn't have had the role I've had now had I not said, oh, that new software, I'd like to have a go at that. It's all about, if there is something new and emerging, how can you skill yourself up, because you don't know if that's going to be the next big thing. And then one from Chris, our boss. If you spot an opportunity to make things better, do something about it. Chris always champions us to ask questions and challenge the norms. And yeah, if something's not working, challenge it. There's often times where it's like, oh, that's just the way it's done, but why? Can it be better? So yeah, that's really important too.
And then I have said, with my wise words of wisdom, if you have capacity, try and say yes to things and take a chance, even if it's scary. The examples that I've got, many examples where I've just said, oh yeah, I'll have a look at that and pick that up. And then it's turned into something that I really love, and I've made a career out of saying, yeah, pick up wild things. And then Michael shared one as well, which I think is really lovely. And it's just making sure that you take the time to reflect and look back and see how much you've done and how far you actually have got. And it's probably going to be a lot further than you actually think. I found this really interesting doing this and seeing how far we've got with our own careers. So yeah, we'd definitely recommend doing that. Cool. So this is some resources that we've got. This is a link to a Miro board, which has been created by Alex and our team, and it's actually got loads of different resources on there. So we'll try and make sure that everyone can get access to this link. But it's just different websites, different books that we've read and we recommend. I think there's tools and videos and podcasts on there as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth having a look. This is a working board that we're all adding to and looking at building out as a business as well, which is why some of the spaces don't have as much as the other ones. So yeah, definitely have a little look at that. And then finally, if you do have any questions about insurance or want to know more about the customer design team or anything like that, then feel free to drop me and Azra a message. We might not know the answers, but we can definitely find the right people who can. So yeah, that is us.
Ending with our favourite picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have any questions now on the call, I know we said that a lot of people probably listen to this back afterwards. So yeah, if you have just watched this and you have a question, as Katie just said, please do message us. We'll be more than happy to at least try and help.
That's great. Thanks, Azra and Katie. That was really interesting. I didn't know that there was it was such a small group.
Oh yeah, we're teeny tiny, aren't we?
I presented the other week on all insurance. I thought it was like hundreds. Like I was really stressed out about it.
We should have told you this.
So we have some pre-submitted questions. I don't think there's anything in the chat. So the first question is, what is the biggest challenge you've faced in your role to date?
That is an interesting question.
I think one challenge that we all probably face within insurance is it is a highly regulated industry. So there are new regulations coming in all the time. So we were worried that this was an actual fire.
We had a bit of a panic
okay.
then, sorry.
It was the fire
The
alarm.
fire alarm was going off.
It gave me a bit of time to think, so that's good. So yeah, so you've been working on the new consumer duty regulation. So I guess that is a challenge, keeping ahead of new things like that and making sure that we are compliant and adhering to rules and regulations, because once something like that drops, that takes priority. So it's just making sure that we're aware and we know how to react to things like that.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. I think I suppose a challenge from a personal perspective is good old imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I think that gets us all at some point. And I found that quite difficult to overcome sometimes. So yeah, it's just having a little bit of confidence in yourself. So yeah, there's two.
My theory on imposter syndrome is if you've got imposter syndrome, then you're doing it right. Because I think there's something, everyone has it, and the people that don't, you think, no, they're
Why don't you?
So if you've got imposter syndrome, it's all good. Just see that as a sign that that's just normal day-to-day life. Good.
Amazing. And second and last question, what are your top priorities in your role?
Does Chris submit this question?
I guess our priorities as a team is ensuring we give back member value to our members and customers, and just continually making sure we give the best experience that there is. So I think that is like a group priority, meeting user needs. We do a lot of user research within the team. We speak to our users. We've got different ways, whether it's surveys, whether it's interviews, talkback, Trustpilot. We've got a lot of different ways. It's getting to the nitty gritty. So I guess a key priority of the customer design team, whatever your role is acting on that, on those problems and those user needs and making sure we fix it. And I've just seen in the chat, actually, someone said about it's good to see that uni isn't always the right way for everyone. What's really interesting is Chris, our boss, Chris Twig, he never went to university, and he's obviously got a really good job, really good role. So definitely uni isn't always the answer. No. So yeah, we're the mugs with all the debt. So yeah, it's really important to sort of call that out. And I think there is more and more roles and companies now where a degree isn't a prerequisite, which is really good to see because it is that learned and lived experience that is so important. Yeah.
Amazing. So we don't have any questions in the chat, but we do have some love. So make sure to read it through. And if that's everything, then thank you so much for speaking today, girls. It was really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Amazing. Bye.
Bye-bye.